And a news alert here as Gabbard hits Clinton with a $50 million defamation lawsuit over Russian asset remarks. The Democratic presidential candidate, Representative Tulsi Gabbard of Hawaii, is accusing former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton of deliberately spreading false accusations that Gabbard is a Russian asset in a lawsuit seeking upwards of $50 million in damages. During an October 2019 interview with the podcast Campaign HQ, Clinton suggested the 2020 presidential candidate was the favorite of the Russians and a Russian asset. Gabbard insists these statements have no grounds in reality and that Clinton knew or should have known this at the time. In the lawsuit, it says rather than facts or reliable evidence, Clinton's basis for the defamatory statements was one of both of her own imagination or extremely dubious conspiracy theories that any reasonable person, and especially Clinton, a former United States Senator and Secretary of State, would know to be fanciful, wholly unverified, and inherently and objectively unreliable, said the lawsuit filed Wednesday in a Manhattan federal court. Clinton did not specifically name Gabbard in her remarks, but strongly implied she was referring to her. The complaint points out that when asked if she was referring to Gabbard, Clinton's spokesman, Nick Merrill, responded, quote, "If the nesting doll fits," a reference to Russian dolls. Gabbard's complaint states in no uncertain terms that, quote, "Tulsi is not a Russian asset and that neither Russia nor anyone else controls her or her presidential campaign. To the contrary, it plays up her history of public service from her time in the Army National Guard to her 4 terms as a U.S. Congresswoman." Citing her roles on House committee and the military, the complaint points out that Gabbard, quote, "has never had her security clearances challenged or revoked," and claims that Clinton was aware that if Gabbard was really a Russian asset, she would not have been able to serve in these positions, which provide her, quote, "access to highly sensitive and classified information." As for why Clinton would have made such statements, Gabbard claims Clinton has, quote, "a unique personal connection to Tulsi that animates her hostility towards Tulsi and her presidential campaign." The lawsuit claims that this stems from when Gabbard supported Senator Bernie Sanders in the 2016 Democratic primary. Gabbard, who was the vice chair of the Democratic National Committee at the time, was the most high-profile member of Congress to support Sanders as he ran against Clinton. In the lawsuit, it says Clinton was extremely angry, to put it mildly, and that Tulsi endorsed Senator Sanders over her. The complaint states also that, quote, "if agents for Clinton let Gabbard know, they would not assist Gabbard in her campaigns." Quote, "these agents that forward the correspondence." Clinton's closest aide and John Podesta, chairman of the Clinton's 2016 presidential campaign, to gloat about the beatdown they felt they delivered on Tulsi, writing, quote, "hammer dropped," the complaint says. A representative for Clinton did not immediately respond to Fox News' request for comment on this lawsuit.